Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So I'm going to go with this longer haul, but it's just a tanker, but it's got a really good rate. Alright. Whoops. It still has the trucks behind me. I didn't realize that. I started to back up. Because usually in between, like if you've logged off, things are gone. Maybe they've changed that with the update. Maybe it remembers. Don't know. So we'll circle around and then we'll go get it. But basically, got 46 miles, it tells me. No, I'm not gonna get clear of that. So 46 miles till I need to pick it up. But I'm going to take a quick peek here since I'm by a repair location. Alright, so stopped in the shop and got myself my Montana paint job. So, very excited. My Montana Grizzly. So, was able to get the orange back, but at this point, everything is good. So, turn right. I'm glad we're turning right. There's less traffic this way, at least for now. Alright. So, again, we've got about an hour. It gave us 8 hours till the job is gone, so we should be fine. Now, if we pass a gas station on the way, I am going to fill up too. We're at a quarter tank. Right now, that's 700 miles, and that's obviously unloaded, so that's not going to get us very far on a 1,200 mile trip, so. Alright, I got to be careful because this is only a 40-mile-an-hour road. So I'm also going to try to get closer to 500,000 before I go ahead and do any expansion of the company, because I need a new garage too. So I'd like a garage and maybe a couple trucks, and so we'll wait there. Interesting. So gotta get on the highway to go get this. So I said I was near Portland, which in essence is what he gave me, but not sure. So this will be a little bit, obviously a longer episode because of the length of the run that I've got. So I'll do it as efficiently as I can, but I'll let you know more specifically what Sim Dashboard is telling me when I get there. So it's telling me just to go pick this up is a couple minutes. So we'll see how that all goes. Oh, we got some rain coming in. I believe, yeah, that'll give us the wipers. I don't have to use the wipers that often, so I regularly kind of forget what it is. Alright, we'll hide that. Alright, so we're going to Astoria. I don't need high-speed wipers, but regular ones are good. Alright, it's down to 20 miles, so maybe we're picking it up at the... Well, but if we were picking it up at the port, I would think we would have gotten off. So, I actually don't know where we're picking it up, but it can't be too far, because it says 14 miles, so it's going down pretty quickly. Alright, so we're going toward Astoria. It's interesting that we're not seeing anything on the map yet. Don't want to scuff up our nice paint job. I was not able to hold that turn. Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, we've got to get off here, but we are. Just not on that particular road. Alright, so I'm guessing it's at, yeah, the Chevron. That would make sense, because it's a tanker. And it says aromatics. I don't know that I've ever had... Well, I know I haven't had those.
Turn left.
Whoops. Alright. Luckily, since I'm not towing anything, I was able to make up for that pretty quickly. So there's the local garage. If we were to... Although, maybe we own this one, I don't know. This is confusing, this yard. There's a lot going on here. We are here. Alright, so we're here to pick up the aromatics, guys. Where is it? Alright, there it is.
Okay, here we go.
Now it's interesting, because it's listed as like a heavy load. So I don't understand if it's just large or it's more full. It's just a weird thing. So which one is it? The close one? Yeah, the close one. Alright, I'm guessing that one is the other option we would have had to take. Not quite sure why the other tanker isn't up, but maybe they're still filling it or something. So the nice thing is for my VTC, this will count for my specialty group too, because I haven't had a hazmat load in a while. So just need to check all the paperwork, make sure we're good, and reset our distance. 1269. So it's telling me an hour and 4 minutes. So this will be a good, you know, hour and 30 minute episode by the time it's all said and done. So for those of you who liked some of the longer ones, you're getting your wish here. Because, yeah, it's pretty rare that I take one. I mean, if it was a couple thousand or something, I probably would have passed it up. This also keeps us still within the SCS maps. So we're not leaving, we're just delivering to Colorado.
Get ready to turn left.
Yeah, this is a long
Turn left.
tanker too. So that may be part of why it's heavier. So nothing doing there. Whoa! Oh boy. I didn't realize he was turning, I'm sorry. I was trying to make this light and I was sloppy. So a little bit longer yellow with the extended lights, so alright. So low clearance, but hopefully with the tanker that won't be a problem. It's definitely pulling it like a heavy load. Alright. Not sure which way it's going to have us go. I'm imagining to the right.
Keep left.
No? Okay. Yeah, I guess the Dales is normally the way we head over, so that makes sense. Yeah, so I think this one will take a bit of work to get done because you can see the truck is needing every ounce of its strength to do what it needs here. so we're under here. I think this is the same bridge we came across. We're just now on the bottom, so we're kind of filling out both discoverables, because on top, basically, it just kind of overlays it. So it's interesting that the bottom is the one that really fills in the yellow. And then we'll see if it's going to take us south through Salem or north. Alright, so we're going through Salem. I think it's still raining, so I'm going to leave my wipers on. I'm just obviously not getting wet because I'm under the bridge here. Maybe it is done. Alright, I want to get out of this. I guess we are, so we'll turn them off. So, just a very quick rain shower there. But, so we have 20 hours, 21 hours of game time till we get there. We have 3 hours and 41 minutes till we need to rest. So, I want to start looking for a rest area. But we are headed to the Dales. And then we have 62 hours total in game time, so 42-hour difference. So resting that extra time should be okay. You know, the challenge I've got again is this is I think it was an urgent delivery. So there was a little bit of temptation to take the Kenworths again because, you know, you get fragile and experience-wise it's worth more. But again, that's not really my target here. I mean, at this point, my target is just kind of enjoy things, but I don't need to move up as quickly anymore because it's not as if I'm looking to get to the point where I can afford things or whatever. We're just kind of running our company now. Alright, I'm going to move back to the middle because we might actually need to exit here. I don't think so, but not sure. Not sure if we honestly can exit here.
Keep left.
Nope, doesn't look like we can, so that will be walled off, and there you can see the yellow arrows. Alright, so I'm going to slow down here. Now we'll get the cruise back on, get ourselves moving. Although my guess is we're just going to exit right away again.
Keep right.
Yep. So just a lot of weaving around here in this area to get ourselves out. So let me shrink this or pull this down a couple levels again so that I'm only going in line with the speed limit, because yeah, it's 55 here in, I think we're still in Oregon. Oh, I should have pulled off. Well, next time there will be other options. Still got 3 hours, so it's not like we're in any danger. So, as I mentioned, yeah, this run's going to keep us on the SCS maps, which is going to be nice. Alright, so we go a little quicker now. And we've come this way before, the opposite direction along this interstate. Probably going to have to exit and weigh ourselves here. Give us a idea of really how heavy we really are. I'm thinking it's pretty substantial, because I don't think they give us those extra things just for nothing. Alright, there we go. We'll have to exit. Sometimes there's rest in the way stations. I really need rest. Yawning. But yeah. Oh wow. I got a pretty good speeding violation there. 1260. I don't know if he was on the interstate or where. Whoa, 100,000 pounds. That is heavy. 80,000 is kind of the max for normal. So, just not sure if aromatics themselves are like a thicker fluid, so that a full tanker of them is heavy, or what. But either way, obviously, any stop like that, now we're going to use the torque of the truck for sure to get going. But yeah, we'll have nice visuals, because obviously we're in official maps the whole way, so the Dales probably has somewhere to rest at this point just to get it done. The nice thing with the other one was, like, they were right there. I didn't have to go drive anywhere. Or here I'm a little worried, so we'll see what we see. Because if it's not nearby, I still have 2.5 hours. Alright, it's... I might have to go around a different way, though. Oh no, it's there, so we'll take it. And it's a gas station, so I was worried it might be a hotel. And we'll see, it might take us a different direction to get back on the interstate. Alright, since it's a longer tanker, I'm going to swing a little wide.
Turn left.
So, need to rest and get gas, so this all works out nicely. Alright. So, it's a decent size. Thinking I might just get the rest done first, so that I'm kind of past that, and then I can just go. So we'll see where it gives us credit, because I don't need to pull in any further than I need to. I'm sure we'll get some paydays overnight. Alright. So I'm going to turn and then kind of give myself a bit of a sharp turn. So looks like we've got a few drivers that have finished up. Nice 14,000 for Brandon. Alright, I was thinking that the building was closer than that, so yeah, that's like the houses behind here. So yeah, just imagine trucks pulling out at 4 a.m. outside your bedroom window. You gotta get used to that, that's for sure. Alright, so let's fill up. Wow, 543. This is gonna be really expensive. Trying to remember if I have the real gas prices. I may, but wow, $1,300. Whoops, that's a wall. I was thinking I could get out there, but I can't. So where can... Oh, goodness, wait a minute. Oh, this is a terrible... Oh, this is really bad. So I'm going to have to back out. Oh, boy. This could take a long time now. Not... Oh, there's an exit. I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this, but alright. And they're not. I'm just blind. So never mind. Oi, oi, oi. Can't take me anywhere. So I'm assuming I need to go to the left, but either way I need to pull out. Well, it's not saying anything, so maybe it... No, it does want me to go to the right, so guess I'll do that, and then I won't have to worry about turning too sharply. There's a motel, but it's not one we can actually stop at in the interface, so I can see why, because it's not easy to get into at all. Alright, so yeah, I don't want to take a chance. I might do a double rest at some point when I'm closer, but given the situation right now, what I don't want to do is potentially run into, again, some sort of a road closure or a detour, because it's been just my luck lately in places. And I need to slow down, because I've already got one speeding ticket on this run. I don't need another one. I'm going to be really surprised if we make that light. I'll be happy, but I think that's going to be a tough one. Well, we should be good, because even if it turns yellow now, it's long enough. So that's good. We get through the one stoplight town of the Dales. And then I think up here we're going to turn to the left, as it says, to freeway. So obviously, very clearly, that's exactly what we want to do. So 1182, so I think we've only gone, well, we can see we've gone 93 miles, so it's not nothing, but in the grand scheme of things it kind of is. And then we'll be going to the right, because that's the way we were headed, and it's a long run.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
So toward Pendleton, I'm going a little quick, but I don't want to lose my speed with the weight of this trailer if I can. So a little bit of a downhill. It's almost a flat entrance, so I'm not getting the help of gravity like you typically would on an entrance. Merge in. We're on I-84 East, and now I'm sure we settle in for a little ways. Let's see if we'll get to go a little bit faster here. Yep, we can, so that's excellent. So if we can get ourselves to that speed, which would be 70, we will do so. But again, we're in the mountains here, and gravity's working against us with all that weight. So my guess is that hour and 4 minutes is not going to be realistic. But we won't need to stop again for gas, but we're still going to have to stop, so we'll deal with that then. Because, yeah, we've still got 20 hours, but 12 and a half is what we can do for our run. I think we get a little bit of downhill, so we might be able to get some speed added on here. Get ourselves closer to that 70. The bigger question is, can we stick there? As you know, or are we going to start sloughing off? It looks like we are just flat. We're not climbing, so that's good. So we can still accelerate for a bit. Because, yeah, I can still go 10 miles an hour faster. So, getting sunrise here. sun rising in the east, so we're just going to be heading right into it. Right now it's being blocked by the trees, but that won't last for long. Walden's. Alright, so not a lot of new discovery because the interstates kind of do both sides most of the time. Not always, but it is now. So we're getting just little pieces here and there that are getting discovered. But just making sure we understand what's happening. Turn off my turn signal. Walden's Landscape Supplies. Don't know that I've seen that trailer before. Don't know if it's real or if it's just made up. Thinking it's real. Because I don't know that real companies would let a whole lot of the game things through. Although once again, this might be a Montana one that it doesn't know about and therefore wouldn't replace yet. So yeah, if I didn't need gas, we just had a rest area there, but it worked out. Because I'm definitely set now. We've got 1,900 miles of fuel and 1,100 needed to get us there. Alright, so we'll move over and then I'll probably just have to dive right back over because it looks like they're all slowing down. So I think we're at the top speed that we can be. Or the top gear, I should say. That's what I meant. Good amount of traffic on the road today, moving with us. Nice old car. So it's been a long time since I've been in Truck Sim for something for an hour. I might have done, a couple trips in that time, but one trip for over an hour, it's been a bit. And of course, again, I've got all this going on. It's slowing me down. It's going to take me forever to get that back. I'm sure by the time I get nearby, he'll move over to the left again to pass, and then everybody will slow down again. Or I guess we're really probably catching them. I don't know that they're going any slower. But I can't say they're not either, so it's not a hill I'm going to die on saying that it's definitely the case. Alright, so not sure if this is... So yeah, it's Pendleton. Because yeah, we came over from Montana, so we're basically now heading over what was a very common road when I've been doing other things, because this just gets us out of kind of at the edge of Oregon, so even going up to Washington, it's sometimes been a good place or a good road to take to get over to the west. And obviously, we then typically, as we are now, then head out from the west and keep going. So, alright, so this looks like we're going to have some climbing. Because, oh yeah, I remember this one. So, we'll see how things work here, but we're kind of pinned in, so I do want to be careful. that I don't end up taking out a vehicle. Alright, so whoop. So we've got 8,000. I don't know that I'm going to maintain enough momentum here, but I'm sure gonna try. But then I do need to move over because I think this is going to slow me down a good amount, but well, so far it's not. Whoop, he just came over. I was getting ready to go. Alright, well now we're down to 36. I always laugh at these because, yeah, I can't even get near the speed limit, but there are some vehicles that can, so it's giving them the warning that the turn's a lot tighter than your typical interstate turn. But kind of where that other rest area is close to where the crest is, so you can see we've got a bit of climbing to do. But hopefully the trip out of the mountain down the other side will make up for it. But yeah, I think the other direction's checkpoint is kind of the scenic view. I'm sure ours was nice, but I don't know that it's the same. But whoop. Almost overcompensated, but we're still climbing. But I think we're getting to the point that should be the crest, which is why the right lane goes away as well. Alright, so it moves back up through the gears pretty fast. I wish it would stay down longer, but it's at least relatively simple to get going though. Now we just don't want to speed because, as we can see, we've got a tip danger on this, and while I don't think I've tipped on this turn, I certainly have tipped a truck before, trying to be too fast on an entrance ramp. I don't know, it still feels a little bit like we're going up, but the speed is showing something different, so. Because obviously I am accelerating, and we're at the highest gear. So that wouldn't be possible if we were going up with the load we have, for sure. Alright. So we got a few areas here. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to get back up to speed here. Getting up to the max limit, and we'll start being able to chew through some miles pretty quickly. I gotta be careful here because this may get too difficult. I've got my foot covering the brake, but again, trying to not slow down if I don't need to. Of course, I'm sure that's how truckers get in trouble, right? They're trying to make up every moment, knowing that it will take them 2 minutes to get back up to speed if they slow down 10 miles an hour, but then they run off the road and have an accident because they take a turn too quickly. But so far so good, and I think pretty soon we'll be out of the really weavy part, and of course now hopefully we won't get stopped at this way station too, but I'll stay in the right lane just in case. No, we do have to stop. And is he going into? It looks like it. Oh, no. There's just someone in front of him. So, wow, we've got a line today. This may be as bad as I've seen it.
Okay, let's find a new route.
Although I think those trucks up ahead that I thought were waiting might just be pulled off on the side. So I think we're next. So it won't be too bad. I'll turn my signal on because that helps kind of warn traffic behind us. So we're a little heavier, probably because of the extra fuel. So another 2,000 pounds or whatever from where we started. But I think our initial stop was right as we got on the interstate. And so, yes, I think we were almost empty of fuel at that point. So that certainly will create some variation. But as we talked about, now we get to get back up to speed. Good news is we're at least not climbing right now. So hopefully we can do that without too much difficulty. Looks like we've got, I'm not sure, oh, there's a truck with a horse trailer, or a pickup with a horse trailer on the road just off there. So it was a nice thing to see. A lot of times there isn't as much movement off on the edges. Again, the SCS maps are certainly a lot more detailed than any mod maps that most people will do. So, getting there, almost at 50. I think once we stop that little climb, we'll be able to do that a little easier. So looks like they're putting up some new, or a new house there. Maybe not. Maybe it just has a really weird color of siding that looked like kind of the sheetrock underneath or something, and suddenly I realized, no, it actually looks like siding, so I'm not sure. Right, so I'm assuming he's checking the other way, but either way, we're still even below the speed limit. So, Cement Plant Road. I always remember this driving past here, because this is a very, very common route to take. So, this is a stretch of road I'm very, very familiar with, even though in this profile haven't driven it yet. But it's just to get to that BHP Billiton facility, and that is it, is that whole entrance. So, and I assume it's a cement plant, hence the really creative name of Cement Plant Road. Having a hard time keeping the truck in line. So, alright, so we're down to 45 minutes of real time, 900 miles. Again, we'll be fine with gas, but we've got 8 hours till we have to stop and rest. So, in theory, we could get to almost 7 p.m., but we'll see how close we can get there, because obviously we don't want to have a problem where we can't stop. If we're on the interstate, I may push it a bit, because I'd like to get closer to the fact where we're not driving in the dark and, going to sleep at 3 p.m. if I can avoid that. But, we'll see how all of that goes. Alright. So we're getting into that scrub. Kind of as we start getting closer to the prairie and stuff, it gets a little more sparse. I'm going to be really curious how SCS does those, Great Plains states like Nebraska and stuff like that. Because it's just a lot of stuff like this. Probably even less trees sometimes. But it's the geography we've got, so you kind of go with what is there. Alright, so this is a big 90-degree turn around Ontario, so this is a good place to stop because you can get on and off a couple different ways, and traffic's getting a little heavy here. Getting to lunchtime, people are obviously out and about. It is a Thursday, so it's a work day. So probably got some people leaving their offices or places of work a little bit early and heading and getting a bite to eat. Adding to the normal traffic, but now we're in Idaho. So we've got that crossed over. But, ooh, plane. Nice plane there. And then that truck looks, I don't know if it's a bucket truck for like the electric company or what. Oh, we can go faster now that we're in Idaho. We can speed up 5 miles an hour. So hopefully, the car's okay, but I need that truck not to move over. The car's not okay because there was a truck up there. Boy. So there we go. Now I'm down to 50. So that's going to be unpleasant trying to make all that up. So let's see. It's 15. Let's see how many minutes it takes us to get up to speed. So I'm looking at my time on Sim Dashboard. Obviously, it might have just changed to that minute, or we might be close to the end. I don't know. Yeah, of course, all these cars are going to go by, which is just going to make it worse. I was going to say Nampa's normally something we discover from the interstate too. So I'm going to move over now to get out of the way. Let the people that need to pass me do so on the right, and they can do their thing. So we've got the next 3 exits for Boise. And shortly after that, I think we got Twin Falls. And then after Twin Falls, I think we change interstates and start heading south a bit. Because, getting there, I think we're going to end up off the interstate for some of it, but maybe not. So, 3 cities discovered here, which is more relevant. They have like a pumpkin? I swear I don't know that I've seen that. It might be a tomato or something, but it's like a produce market. I've been by this dozens of times. I swear I don't remember that at all. So it's always a fun thing with this game because there's just so much around. You can play it forever and still have not seen things. Pretty neat.
Keep left.
So yeah, we know we need to continue. Got to get to Colorado. It's just a lot of times, like when we go through Utah, it'll have us exit at like Park City or Price, or I think it's not Park City, it's Price. I'm thinking we're still going to do that, because otherwise, like going down to the interstates usually doesn't make sense. If we do that, we'll be heading through Moab and stuff like that. So there we go. Twin Falls, I think, was 119. Or maybe it was just 19, I don't know. I couldn't see it too clearly. So, lots of people getting off at the rest area, so that's good. That'll clear some traffic out in front of us, just to get filled back in with everybody that's going, so still working to get up to speed. It's another, just like Cement Plant Road, Mountain Home. I'm assuming that's a city or something, but I don't know. I don't know, maybe with this weight we can't. I mean, we obviously had gotten up to 70, so we should be able to go that fast, but we are struggling to get any additional miles out of this. I think we're going to have a little bit of a downhill here, so maybe we'll get ourselves up to 75. There we go. Alright, there we go. Question is, can we really maintain that anywhere, or are we just gonna hit that at the bottom of hills? But we are still on the interstate, but US 30 must have merged with us at some point, and I'm sure it will change later. Alright, so we've got a little bit of wiggling around here. I think the cars can go faster, because otherwise I'm surprised how he's driving along with us even though we started to pass him. But a little bit of a climb, sloughing off miles per hour. Oops, turn that off. Just kind of focused on the road and not getting into a situation with all the curves. Oh boy. Shoot. I thought he would back off enough, but he didn't. I just didn't want to slow down. But it cost me 900. So we're still doing great on timing. We've got days of extra. We should honestly be there tomorrow, because we've got 12 hours. I can go almost 6 hours before I need to stop. So we're going to have basically 6 or 7 hours left in the next day. Ooh, strange stutter with the sky there. I think that happens sometimes here, because just the speed at which that's moving, it would be like 300-mile-an-hour winds or something. But it does that in some areas of the map. I don't know why. Some of it obviously must have something to do with the direction, because now that we've turned, now at least they're drifting at a little more reasonable pace. Thinking when we turn again in that same move to continue going right, eventually they'll stop moving. Alright. Just making sure he wasn't coming up on me again. But yeah, Pocatello we don't go to, I believe, in the route we're on. But yeah, if I'm on the interstate, what I was talking about is now we're burning more time, but we're getting close to where in an hour or two I could start looking.
Right, and then exit.
But once again, as I said, I don't want to create this situation where I have
Exit
to
right.
pull over. Wow, this really slowed us down. 36. I know the exit isn't that slow. Now, a lot of times this way station, it lets you skip. So, and a lot of times exactly what happened is you're slowed down by traffic, you're barely getting up to speed, and then you hope you don't have to pull over. And here we go, we don't. So now we're heading down toward Utah, so that'll get us there. And see, this way station does have a rest spot. But no, what I was saying is if I'm there, because we get a little bit of grace about an hour past our sleep time. So if I wait until I have an hour, and kind of get the warning and the driver starts yawning, usually within 2 hours I can find somewhere to stop. The challenge is if we're already down, like again, by price and we've gotten off, I'm not entirely sure that'll be the case there. The speed's still pretty good, but I don't remember if the rest opportunities are as prolific as they are along the interstate. So we'll see how it goes, because yeah, we're at 4.5 hours now, so I really would like to push that. But what I may do is, like, if we exit at price, if we're already kind of within that window, I may just say I'm doing it, because right now, like, we're under 11 hours till we need to get there, and our hours of service are 13 after we're rested. So in theory, once we rest, like, now we're in a window where I can get there. The only thing that would thwart that again is some massive road closure. I mean, it's one thing to just have some construction, but if we have a random event that spawns that needs the life flight helicopter again, that will cause a problem. Alright, I'm glad he noticed and he got out of the way. Because I was like, there's 3 trucks ahead of him and he is not going to pull in between any of them, I don't think, unless they spread out, but so we had a rest area at the way station, we have one here, so you kind of get my point. Like, within an hour and a half we've hit 2 rest points, so that's pretty typical for the interstate. I'm thinking because we haven't crossed into Utah yet, I believe, that we should still be on the interstate as we get really close to the end of our service window here, so that'll be good. Oh, that farmer's watering, or yeah, he's irrigating his crop. Speak of Utah, there it is, with just about 4 hours, so we'll see. So Salt Lake's 134, so that'll be an hour and a half already before we even get to Salt Lake, I think. So yeah, this might be lining up pretty well. Because I know for certain there's some areas. Come on, move over, or go by so I can move over is more what I meant. And I'm pretty sure the AI is intentionally designed that way to give you something to do versus to just move at a set speed. I'm sure they create situations where you have to slow down or speed up to change lanes appropriately and so forth. It's a big trailer of hay that was sitting there. Sorry, another yawn from me, a big one that delayed me 10 seconds in speaking. But there's another way to get to Pocatello. Clearly we went that way, or came from that way, it looks like. So, Logan, I don't think we discover a whole lot from the interstate here in Utah. I think there may be one, maybe two, but like Salt Lake is off to the west, so we definitely won't discover that here. Alright. Got a police officer there, just pulling in. Alright, the bus is getting out of the way, but that car is not going to speed up fast enough. Oh, we're going to have to slow down here.
Keep left.
Alright. So I'm thinking... No, it's actually allowing us, whoops, to go forward at the same speed. I'm surprised. So if we were going to Wyoming...
And then exit right.
Oh. Alright, well, so this may be different because of
Exit right.
the fact that Wyoming exists, because I think when I did a lot of these before, I didn't have Wyoming. So this Cheyenne exit was not accessible because we couldn't get to Cheyenne. So this might work out well then. Alright. Oh, there's the state trooper. Bit of a mural under that underpass there, or overpass. I guess we are underpassing. So yeah, I'm not sure that I've gone this way before to get to Denver. I don't think I have. So, good stuff, that. Alright, I'm going to move over a bit early because I can see a speck on the horizon. And by the time I get there to that trailer, he'll be next to me trying to pass by. Whoa, I can go... Theoretically now, I can go 80, but I can't even get back to 70. I don't think we ever got back up to speed. From at this point it's been 15 minutes. So now you understand why you avoid even tapping the brake, because it can be painful, if not impossible, to get back up to speed, and it certainly doesn't happen quickly. Alright, Cheyenne and Salt Lake. We're gonna go towards Cheyenne, I'm sure. So, I was gonna say I'll move over, but I was kind of waiting to get the official piece there. Yeah, this looks pretty tight, so I'm not gonna... Whoa. It felt off. I didn't see my wheels leave the ground or anything, but it felt close. Wow. So in theory I could go 85, but I can't even get to 70. So I don't think that's going to happen. But who knows? Alright, so we gotta stop here. No, are we leaving? Oh no, welcome to Wyoming. So, slowing down. Alright, doesn't look like he's going to get measured. We're really close here. An hour and 48. I'm thinking we can go a little bit further. I'm probably going to regret it, because we're just at the 2-hour mark. Now we're at 101. Alright. Let's see. It is struggling to speed up here. That's the other thing that could mess me up a bit. He better merge, because I do not have the ability to fix this. Alright, I'm gonna stay over here. Alright, he looks like he's getting off, so I guess I'm alright. Because what I don't want is that my options are like get off the interstate and go way over. I'm hoping I come across a rest area. But that may have been my shot. Because I was 8 hours away from delivery. It's not like I couldn't have been, but... So, an hour and a half. And then again, we might have another hour. So, if we're getting close, I will certainly consult the map. But we're up to 55-ish. Not even, there we go. So, at least we can do that relatively quickly. Another exit. And again, I think that's a bit of a runaround to get there. There we go, rest area. But is that at the exit? I would think it's just coming up later. Because, yeah, that's just like a truck stop. Oh, no, I guess it wasn't. Well, that is not good. I'm like missing opportunities left and right, so I was hoping that like it would be right past the exit. We're still not even up to 60. We were up to 55, but there we go. This will help. But of course we have all kinds of traffic, so that won't help because you know what will happen. I'm gonna start catching everybody, and it's gonna be a disaster. Come on. Alright. Well, now we're down to 47, so pretty much the next place I see, it will be time. And that was why I was hoping that I didn't need to slow down, because I knew I needed the momentum up here. Because, yeah, I don't want the dozing situation I had before. That would be bad. Alright, this doesn't take me anywhere. There's nothing at this exit. Oh boy, I may have pushed it too far. I mean, we still have 30 minutes, but... Alright, Little America, 1 mile. Is there somewhere to stop there? Or is it just a nothing exit again? No, there is, so... we need to exit. It's not too bad, so... it's just kind of off and then straight in, so that's okay. And at least, you know, it's coming up on 7 o'clock, so
Find a new route.
this is a legit time to stop.
Go straight on.
Alright. So, just under 400 miles. Of course, now it's rerouting me, thinking I'm going to go back, which I'm not, and it went to from 399 to
Turn right.
453, but obviously that's not what's happening. Oh. It says do not enter. So this could get ugly. But I don't need anything else. Alright, let me see. I think I can go through this way. I just thought I heard like a beeping. I didn't like it. Why is it not? There we go. Like, why is it not giving me a spot? Alright. So, 5 a.m. At least it's reasonable. Jaina's leveled up. Sabrina. Very small little bit of income there. I should be able to turn around here. There we go. Alright, Adrian, really good, 10,000. Thomas Thomas Vogte, I think. Not sure if I'm getting them mixed up between Euro Truck and this one, but in any event, we are good. We have actually 14 hours for hours of service. I thought it was 13, but no, I have 13 hours and 40 minutes, so we'll cross back over.
Ready to turn left.
And now again, 400, and it'll become 399 again, which it is now. So, much better. 6.5 hours. Alright, so we're going to struggle to get up here, but it'll be alright. And it's 6.5 hours probably moving at speed, so this isn't helping. See Wyoming. Sure that was taken in Yellowstone or something with that buffalo, but maybe not. Who knows? Alright. So I don't have to adjust anything because I never went up to 85 on my cruise because I wasn't even getting past 70, but so speed limit went down to 75. There's a tunnel. Alright, in theory it's slower through the tunnel, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near up to speed, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So some of the formations coming out in the pre-dawn light. But we'll see how it all goes. The nice thing is, yeah, we're not cutting across from Utah, so Wyoming has made it a more realistic run. So that is the benefit of like squaring off the map, because that was the issue. Like, we didn't have Wyoming, we didn't have Montana, so any of those interstates that go through and then, you know, allow you a different route would not have been available. And obviously we then took more difficult and usually slower routes because we weren't on the interstate able to do 70 or 75. At best, we were probably doing 60. Right, well, I've come through this going the other way. This may be how I got myself over to Washington. Not sure. Looks like we might have gotten on and off there to do a rest area stop or fuel or something. Alright, Cheyenne's 230 miles away. Not sure if we're going all the way there or not. Cheyenne is in Wyoming. Denver is in Colorado. I think those containers were Walbert for a second, and then the real company's mod, I think, overwrote them when it realized, oh, they're there and they're not changed. It's always really nicely rendered, the sunrise here, and sunsets too. I mean, just sometimes at the right time you'll get the rays dancing around. Right, so we're coming up on 15 minutes, so we're getting close. This would be a little bit more of the typical runs I've been doing for a while. 300, 400 miles. Alright, we're up to 75. I'll put it up to 85, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that. Motorcycle? Yep. As I say, I didn't quite see it as it vanished from my mirror, but just the sound and the fact that it vanished from my mirror made me feel like I needed to be careful and not run him over. That's the last thing I want. Alright, so you can see on the trip odometer we're coming up on 1,000 miles in. Be there before we know it. So a lot of places to stop here, but definitely very rural, which is the reality. Wyoming is, I think, the least number of people per capita of any state that we have in the US. So, and I think there's something like there's more cows in Wyoming than people. Because I don't know if it's 500,000 people in total or something, but yeah, it's not a lot, and they could spread out and be very, very far apart. So, but as you might expect, you know, like Cheyenne, a city, has got a good amount of people, and so then you have to compensate for that with even less people out and about, so you can understand how desolate's the wrong word, because I think that's more the natural environment. I mean, this is dry, but it's not desert per se. So, oops, I still got the signal on. I was like, what am I hearing? But that's what I'm hearing. So I think, yeah, I've got, oh, that's possible. Looks like I just have 1,100 miles. I didn't think something's off. Oh, that's my gas. Never mind. I was like looking at my odometer, I thought, and I'm like, how do I barely have more miles than my trip? But that's my miles to empty. So I think I have 16,000 miles. 16,500. That seems more reasonable. Because first I was like, wait, is it like just giving me that distance because of what? But I don't even know how I'd explain what I'm thinking. I really can't, so I'll just leave it at that. Every time I'm ready to pass, I look over. I'm telling you, it's set up that way in the AI. Because there's no way that this would happen every time. I wonder if that's that same Walden's truck we passed way at the beginning of our trip. Could be. He could be going in the same direction as we are. Might even be heading to Denver. We are taking it to the BNSF terminal, the train terminal, so... guessing landscape supplies wouldn't be quite going there, but one of us will pass the other, and we won't know because we won't see. So I am set to go. Well, I better slow it down. 80 is all I can go, because I was set for 85 at one point, but... Alright, Laramie still is in Wyoming. I don't know if that's that same motorcycle I passed. It might be, but if he's got to exit... Yep, he's wanting to exit, so he just fell in line behind the slower traffic at that point. So we discovered Laramie before, coming through the other way. I don't think we went through Denver. I'm thinking, you know, this will just be one that we came across from the coast-to-coast map in the Midwest expansion section. Alright. So, definitely with our 135 or whatever, we'll have enough to expand at the end of this and pick up another garage and some trucks. So that'll all be good. There's that Wyoming one again with the buffalo, or I think it's a buffalo now. I'm wondering if it's like a grizzly, but I don't think so. Phillips. Alright, on Grand Avenue. Finally 8:30 in the morning. So we definitely got going pretty early today. Not as early as the day before though, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I-80 is not going to take us straight into Denver. We're going to have to get off and go south somewhere. Not quite sure why that was slowing down there. There's another rest area, but we are fully rested. We're doing well. Sadly, not in reality. I'm like tired. I don't know why. It's not that late or anything, but we shall see how everything plays out. So yeah, I'm trying to think of something to chat about, but I can't come up with anything, so just driving. Just kind of looking around, enjoying the scenery. Hopefully you're doing the same. I hope he stays where he's at. Ooh, 12,000 for Merrick. Nice. I don't think he leveled up. That's crawling across pretty slow, so he must be up there. I'm definitely going to have to make sure that I don't have to adjust folks from there. Alright, well, next 4 exits for Cheyenne, so we did get here. But I'm wondering if we then go south from here. We'll find out shortly. Here's the first exit. Not doing anything there. There we go, Denver on I-25, so we're definitely going to go there. Alright, so it looks like we had come from straight across.
Keep left.
Alright, get the signal on so we can move over. Alright. So yeah, those gates along the road are in case the snowfall's so heavy that they can't clear it and they have to close the interstate. Out west here, they have to do that sometimes. And so then, you know, you're forced to get off, which is what those signs were showing, you know, 25 exiting. But that's only if the road was closed with the gates. We're good. Alright, down to 120. Miles to go, down to 6 minutes, so I'm sure it'll be 5 minutes very soon. Alright, so many exits. Big FedEx loop there. That's interesting. Fireworks. But yeah, sometimes I do a few runs if I've got time, and I think I'll have time, but I think I'm going to take a break after this one. I'm like beat from this. I haven't driven this far in a long time, so having to kind of stay focused for an hour, taking its toll on me, that's for sure. I'm surprised, but yeah, maybe I'll do something later or tomorrow, because definitely have caught up. 1.46 is coming out. I can delay it again like I did before, so they have announced that that update is coming. I saw a way station sign, so not sure. I guess, yeah, there it is. Finally, the sensor was a long way away from where the sign was, but I guess it had to go through the clover leaf. Nope, I can't keep left. You want to weigh me again. Now, we're not quite back to to the quarter tank, but I wouldn't be surprised if we were just as at 100,000 miles, but we're probably still in the 101. We're a little below half. Hey, there's the, wonder if that's really him, and he stopped. The landscape supply guy. Alright. So 68 miles, so in theory this should be the last rest area. Or the last way station, I should say. It's not even a rest area. Might have had somewhere to rest. I don't think it did, but anyway. I can't recover from that, so I'll just go do my thing. Alright, so we're already at over 400. Thomas has leveled up. You're what? Oh, already?
Yeah.
Have fun. See, I knew you'd be going early.
I told him I'd get over there by dinner time. I'm
No, I
45
get
minutes
it. Well, I
away.
got your number, and I'll let you know, whatever, but we'll figure it out.
You're not turning my phone off.
I'm not
tonight,
going to
are
turn
you?
it off, correct. It'll be fine. I just might be able to get the SIM cards local, so we'll see if I can do it tomorrow then or whatever. Alright, so we've got to be close. Well, 60 miles is not that close. Walgreens. Don't know why I'm singing, but I am. Because why not? Alright, it says Denver's 40 some miles, so I'm thinking we're going to go through Denver and our deliveries on the south side of Denver. Which is fine, doesn't really matter, but it seems to be what I'm seeing. But yeah, just trying to get going from this way station. It's a bit, but it is the Mile High City, right? So... So, looking at that red building, not sure. Almost looks like a wastewater. Oh no, it's a stadium, like a high school stadium or something. Alright, Sterling Grand Junction. I'm assuming we're not going down those, but it might. Don't know exactly where our delivery's going to be, so... It's not saying anything. I would think by now it would have. A little Mazda next to us there. Alright, well, we're obviously just continuing. There's Denver looming ahead of us. I do not know why we are struggling to speed up, probably because
Keep right, and then exit
it is, we're in 18th gear. Don't know why it hasn't dropped down, but...
exit right.
Alright, which way? I hate when it does that. I don't want to dive over. Alright, so... Alright, so I'm going to the left. It's a little messed up there. Alright. So I'm staying over here. And we're circling around, and then we'll be there. So it's just 14 miles. So I guess we're not past Denver. That's interesting, but I swear it said Denver 48, and this was telling me 54, but maybe that's because we're going sideways a little bit. So, because yeah, it looks like the exit's a little ways away here. I think we're going to go past that building and then exit. I think I've been here before. If not, I've been at an exit very much like this, where we've got a giant
And then
something. I don't know if that's a grain mill or what, but whatever it is, it's pretty impressive. Slow down. Holy moly. That was not the exit I was expecting. Luckily it turned out okay. Alright, and then we need to be over to the right. I was gonna say, oh, it's a one-way. Alright. So, I'm sure they scan us here. It's like a giant X-ray machine, I'm thinking, so that they can make sure there's nothing inappropriate in anything. Because the last thing you want is that stuff going down the rail network and, you know, having a bomb or something in there. That would be really bad. Alright. Not quite sure. Again, maybe it's... I guess there's some terminals there that we might need to interact with. Alright, that's where we need to be. Almost thinking it looks like I can... Not sure the best way to get there. Because I think I can go around... Oh boy, we're gonna hit the concrete post there. I think I'm pulling? Yeah, I am. Alright. So let me look out the window here. Because I think I can go this way. I'm gonna have to get clear. What am I stuck on here? Alright, so what I was hoping to do is I think I can pull around without backing up, but it just may not be worth it. I thought I was through. What am I stuck on? This is so confusing. Alright. So, let me cut over. See if that helps. Alright. I'm in. My goodness. Now, I was trying to save myself because I think I could have gone around there and then basically pulled up, although yeah, now that I see what's there, that would have been rough. So, which is kind of what they always do. They make it almost impossible to do it the easy way. Alright, I need to go forward some more because again, this thing is huge. It was a very quick reversal, but hey. I was going to say, I don't think I'm actually going in reverse. Yeah, this almost, other than the red, like it looks like the same paint scheme I had before, if you really think about it. But I do like the Grizzly. I've kind of done, you know, I've had a truck with the Buffalo from Wyoming. I had the Mountain Ram or the Bighorn Sheep from Colorado. That was kind of my first thing because I think the first week or month I was playing ATS is when Colorado came out and got released. So I was in the World of Trucks event So it might have been that. It might have been having World of Trucks stuff that had started. Alright, we're finally here. $12.76. So hazmat class 3. $4.31 for that. Alright, we have leveled up. So we have gotten over into level 36. Nicely done. Right, and not a challenge on the maneuvering bonus, but you know, we're doing well there. Alright, so we get to apply our last skill point on fuel economy, and now it should not ask us anymore. Oh, that's right, we can go ahead and expand. So let's see. We have garage. This is our farthest garage. Now where were we when we came? It wasn't Kenwick, Portland. But there was some place we were getting off. So this is where we have Ontario, Boise. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of not wanting Portland. I think I'm going to go with LA just because there's just a lot in California, so those drivers would be busy. Alright, so I need Peterbilt. I'm going to buy online. I'm going to do my fleet config. We're going to purchase 2 of them. So there's one. There's the other. And we're going to see what kind of employees we can get. So let's see, hire a driver. Oh, I was hoping we'd get someone incredible like I did that one time, but might have been a fluke. So again, I don't need someone with fuel. Kind of liking this guy, because we can add the distance, but having a couple hazmats, and I think that's high value. No, that's not high value, because it's fragile, high value. This must be speedy delivery. So I'll hire Michael. We'll put him there, and again, this is where it's good starting in LA, because you know, he's got jobs around. So now Jose's got distance and hazmat. That's got fuel. Ulrique's the same. Just a lot of people with fuel economy. I'm not a big fan of that. Slim pickings, I'll tell ya. So I guess we're gonna go with Jose. So Jose will join Michael. There we go. So we got a couple more people in our staff. And the only thing that I'm going to check is, are people beyond where they need to be? Because I think we only had one. Yeah, I think Sabrina was it. And now she is up to 3. And then these guys, I need... Whoops. So I need them on long distance. And I need him on long distance as well. Alright, so everybody is set. So we're good. Company's updated. We're all ready to go. I'll see you next time.